on ride-hailing companies in Nigeria to implement a customer verification process to protect their driver. Customers verification could simply be a bank account number verification from the customers. We are simply saying every Bolt, Uber, and other ride-hailing account should have at least one bank account of the customer linked to it. Finally, we call on all road transport regulators to ensure that compliance to safety regulation are strictly adhered to. The safety of drivers is as important as the safety of the customers.
Moving on, the youth coordinator of Olumu Ogbo-Gboama Host Community of Government Secondary School, Borokri, Port Harcourt, Precious Tobin George, has called for proper prosecution of the principal of Government Secondary School, Borokri, Ila Ewo. Mr. Ewo was detained at the Borokri Police Division yesterday after some aggrieved parents dragged him to the police for allegedly defrauding them during the WAEC registration exercise. Recall that some aggrieved parents of SS3 students of Government Secondary School Borokri in Port Harcourt City Local Government area yesterday marched to the school to disrupt ongoing WAEC exams over the exclusion of their children from the exam. But speaking to our correspondent, Mr. George said the prosecution of the principal will serve as deterrent to others.
Because of selfish interests, you will deny students writing exam. We must not allow it slide. There must be a penalty for this, for others to learn that. Because not only this school, many other schools I believe have been doing this kind of things. Extorting, collecting money from children, asking them to bring money to the school.
Meanwhile, there are indications that the principal of Government's Secondary School, Ila Ewo, may be released by the police. Some of the aggrieved parents who returned to the police station spoke to correspondent Emeka Otuka on the agreement reached with the principal of the school.
We are trying to settle the issue out from court so that the principal will settle incidents. That is where we are now.
Currently, we are in police station Borokiri now. We have agreed that the principal will pay damage of 1.3. What the police is trying to do now, since the principal is pleading, it's okay. He's going to pay the damage of the student. The only time things will come up is when he promised to enroll the student in NECO exam. So when he does not give us the tangible result that we expect to take, so then we will come up again.
Moving on, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says the demolition of the Bayelsa State government property OGRA Port Harcourt was done to rid the area of hideout used by criminals. Governor Wike said this while inaugurating the Rumesera Community Internal Roads in Eneka Town in Obiakwa Local Government area yesterday. Governor accused the Bayelsa State government of persistent hostility to Rivers State. He said very friendly engagement with the Bayelsa State government over shared property of the old Rivers State has been greeted with harsh tone. Governor Wike, however, directed the contractor handling the work at the government secondary school Eneka to return to site and complete the project within the next 1 week, or the state government would be compelled to arrest and jail him. According to him, the delay on the work is deliberate, knowing that the present administration has just a few days of stay in office. At the inauguration of the Akbabo Odido Road that was held at E2 Bridgehead, Odido Town in Emoha Local Government area, Governor Wike spoke on what motivated him to work on the project.
Until we came here, I never knew that we have a community who is in Ahuda West, but close to Emoha Local Government, particularly Akbabo. And so this road now has linked them to Akbabo. It's even the distance from there to even their own local government. So they can just take 2-3 minutes. They're already in the Emoha local government. I believe that the incoming government will not hesitate to award a contract of building schools for them there. It's very, very important. Because with this road now, people can come in here. It's no longer taken from the other side.
Earlier, Governor Wike spoke to journalists at the Port Harcourt International Airport on his arrival from Europe yesterday. The governor said he has no apology for the demolition of properties belonging to the Bayelsa State government. He said the lands will be used to build residential quarters for judges.
I spoke to my colleague, Governor Bayelsa State, severally. And I said, look, either renovate or bring it down or build a new thing for your state. We're not claiming that the property belongs to us. But we have a right to talk about development in our state. 2021 in August, not only did I write a letter to him in all our meetings, if you cannot develop it, you can sell the property back to the Rivers State government. We are willing to develop it, but we cannot allow that property to be the way it is. It's unfortunate. You do something today, they say, oh, because he did not support you for president. What is all this?
As you may know, the Rivers State government on Friday demolished two buildings belonging to the Bayelsa State government at numbers 5 and 9 Akasa Street, Old GRA, Port Harcourt. It said the buildings were constituting nuisance. Leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Degema branch, says it is open and soliciting for more public and private partnership that will ensure the early completion of the branch's secretariat building at Degema Consulate. Chairman of the branch, Victor Amakri, made this known while giving his welcome address during the groundbreaking ceremony of the NBA Degema Secretariat building. Mr. Amakri also highlighted some of the challenges the construction of the NBA house may face after he commended Governor Nyesom Wike for his assistance and the former chairman of Degema local government area, Abiye Davis, for donating the piece of land.
I therefore, on behalf of NBA Degema branch, profoundly thank His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, for his thoughtfulness and magnanimity in this regard. The same measure of gratitude goes to the incumbent Chairman of Degema Local Government Council, Honorable Michael John Williams, for sustaining the grant made to the branch by his predecessor. Concerted efforts shall be made by the branch to vigorously pursue this building project and conclude it within record time. The only constraint that the branch shall face is the fact that the cost of building materials has increased. Prudently manage it and deploy the funds made available. When completed, it shall be the focal point for lawyers of the branch and others who may have anything to do with the courts around here.
The Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Amadi, represented by Justice Boma Dieprie, while performing the groundbreaking ceremony, said the judiciary is open to giving the necessary assistance to the branch.
And to assure you that it will always be with you throughout the construction of this project in whatever possible measure. He is a partner in progress with you. Feel free to contact him at any point in time. Right from the days of provinces, it has been the provincial headquarters. The Degema Judicial Division is one of the oldest in the state and in the history of the Rivers State Judiciary. It may not be something that will be completed tomorrow or next. I believe that come one day, we will have cause to commission.
Meanwhile, some of the dignitaries, including two senior advocates of Nigeria who witnessed the ceremony, urged members of the Degema branch to work in unity to see the completion of the building.
Continue to be vibrant, continue to do the human responsibility for us so that legal practice in this state and in Nigeria will be the better one for all of us.
Because it shows that with better management of resources, branches will be able to provide a befitting place for lawyers to call their home, thereby realizing the objective of creating branches within judicial division. That I will hold in my prayers, leaving of office by the chairman will not affect the capability of the branch to complete this project.
To tell the branch how he intends to support it in this its ongoing project.
Our correspondent reports that the groundbreaking ceremony held in Degema Consulate yesterday was also attended by other senior lawyers and members of other NBA branches in the state judiciary. Ahead of the inauguration of the governor-elect, Siminalayi Fubara, and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, on May 29, the Media and Publicity Committee of the inauguration says it has no doubt that the Siminalayi Fubara team will deliver on the manifesto of his administration. Alternate chairman of the committee, Ibim Seminitari, said this at a media briefing in Port Harcourt.
There is a focus on agriculture as a means for encouraging small businesses. In his manifesto, he had spoken about opening up and freeing up land so that there will be a land tenure that will make it possible for people to turn their land into wealth. I think that those are some specifics that he's spoken about that can help us.
She said the incoming administration of Siminalayi Fubara will also focus on infrastructural development to encourage small-scale businesses. Correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that earlier, the chairman of the Media and Publicity team, Chris Feinborn, outlined some of the activities lined up for the inauguration.
Thursday, 18th May 2023, that's today, by 10 a.m., there will be commission of Rumwesera Internal Roads. By 2 p.m., there will be commissioning of Akpabu Odido Link Road. On Friday, tomorrow, by 10 a.m., there will be commissioning of Elekahia Internal Roads. And in the afternoon, by 2 p.m., there will be commissioning of Okochiri Internal Roads. On Sunday, New Rivers Legacy Project one-day open cycling tour will take place on Sunday, 21st May. On Monday, 22nd May 2023, by 10 a.m., there will be commissioning of basic medicine 500-bed hostel, Rivers State University College of Medicine Extension.
Still ahead, striking resident doctors to meet with National Assembly. Stay tuned. Illegal motor parks and kiosks in the state capital. Our correspondent who visited some major street junctions along Choba, Rumokoro, Eliozu, Malwan, Eleme Junction and Oil Mill, among others, observed an increase in the number of illegal activities along the street and some major flyovers. Recall that the task force in charge of street trading and other illegal activities seized operations after an altercation with a taxi driver along the Rumokoro flyover. Some street traders we spoke to our correspondent said they are bent on selling on the roadside because they pay a series of levies to some community personnel in charge.
I cannot go now without finishing selling my market. I don't have another place to stay because when I come here, this will collect, someone will come and collect, someone will come. I don't have choice. When I go to inside, I don't sell them. But when I come here, by His grace, in the morning they will come and collect money. This group will come, like up to 4 or 5 groups. I have tell you one that is staying here, find me a place where I can be staying. He said there is no chance.
We go stay till 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, they go push everybody go click for road. The road you can see they fine. So now better pass the time when time for them.
Also speaking, Assistant Coordinator Obiakpo Sanitation Marshal, while stating their core duties, called for a joint effort to curtail the indiscriminate roadside trading which is constituting public nuisance.
You can see how we are patrolling to see that we can be able to stop the roadside selling. Because roadside selling is always causing traffic on the road. So whenever we are not on the field, you can see that the road is always blocked. So I will only give grace to sell markets on that money period. As I said, it is 8 o'clock, 8:30. We chase them. You can see how we are patrolling to see that there is no traffic and not sitting on the road. Make sure that everywhere is sanitized. Everywhere is not only chasing them out, we also make sure we sanitize everywhere. Everywhere is neat. That's actually our mission in this period.
Some residents also spoke on this.
So no be everybody will bring out money to rent shop. Now make you see some people they already dey for road. Or even people wey dey for road, they still get shop, but customer to enter their shop now war.
I blame government because if government should have done what they are supposed to do by now, there should not be roadside selling. I'm not saying that government should be chasing people, killing anybody, or taking people's market with them, but there are some amenities that government need to produce to make things work easier for us. Roadside selling is not good. Government need to provide, make marketplaces available.
Them buy and build shop. Not be saying that they are mine for them to stay for there and do the business. When I fit fair break now, 3-2 people don't go.
When the community people always take money for you to sell, so you have no choice than to stay there and sell because you believe that's the best place since you cannot rent a shop.
Recall that the state government banned street trading and illegal motor parks, among others, on January 4, 2021. President-elect Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima will be conferred the national honors of Grand Commander of the Federal Republic and Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger next Thursday. President Muhammadu Buhari will carry this out. A statement shared by the President's Special Assistant to Digital and New Media, Tolu Ogunlesi, also said there will be an official handover of transition documents to the incoming administration. The federal government is assuring Nigerians that the ongoing tribunal hearing against the election of Bola Tinubu as the president-elect will not stop the May 29, 2023 presidential inauguration. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who is also the chairman, Presidential Transition Council, stated this during a press conference in Abuja. Mr. Mustafa noted that the inauguration will not be the first in Nigeria while litigations are still ongoing. He says the law is clear and sacrosanct on inauguration, stressing that this will not be changed. The Presidential Transition Council chairman, Mustafa, later unveiled the program lined up for the inauguration, which starts on Tuesday, May 23. We go on another short commercial now. The news continues afterwards. Stay tuned.
As part of World Environment
Abubakar and PDP Chris Uche said the motion is praying for an order of the court to allow televising of the proceedings. And his lawyer Abubakar Mahmood, however, disagreed. He said bringing cameras into the courtroom will defeat the solemn atmosphere that the court is known for. The case of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi at the tribunal will be coming up today. The hearing is to allow parties to file and agree on all documents to be objected to and not to before the tribunal. As the 5-day warning strike by resident doctors enters its third day, they are to meet with the National Assembly today. The president of the association, Emeka Oji, said the National Assembly invited the association for the meeting. Resident doctors started the warning strike to compel the federal government to meet their demands. On the foreign scene, G7 leaders are holding their annual meeting in Hiroshima, Japan. Ukraine is top of the agenda as the US flags increasing sanctions on Russia and the UK bans Russian diamonds.
Man, since I discovered Kel Technologies, my suffer for printing don't end.